Hello everyone, this is Zuberlin from Slicktronics. Today I am going to teach you how to build a computer. So first you are going to have to go to newegg.com, as you can see right here. And then I already did the research and the buying, so they are all in my shopping cart right over here. So first up, what you're going to have to get is a case. So I got the Codemaster Half-X High Airflow Full Power Computer Case. And then you're going to have to get the motherboard, which is this one right here, which is the one that I got, the Gigabit GA717HT3. This is the motherboard. Pay close attention to the socket slot, which is the LGA1151, because you're going to have to get the Intel Core processor, which is also the same socket slot, which is the LGA1151. Then from there, I got a heatsink, which is the Cooler Master VHGTS. And then I also got DDR4 SD RAM, 16 gigabits. Two of them are 8 gigabits. And then I also got a VVGA GeForce GTX 1070 FTW gaming video card. And that's about it. That's all the pieces that you will actually need, plus the hard drive, which I also will have on my other computer. And I'll just take that and upgrade it. Thanks, and then when I come back, after I get all my pieces back, I will tell you and teach you how to build this computer. Okay, thanks, bye. I have finally received all my parts from Newegg. I have my case, my motherboard, which is inside. I have my video card, my CPU with the heatsink. I also have the power supply and the RAM. And I will also take some stuff out of my other PC, like the hard drive. So that's really all I would need from there. So let's start looking at it and putting it together. I have the Core i7 LGA1151 socket CPU, and it will actually fit right here. And I will need to take off that plastic so I can install it. So what we're going to need to do is take it out of here. Take out the CPU out from here, and I'll do that. Here, you'll have to pull this back and up, and take out the plastic. Take off the plastic, like that. You also need to make sure that these standoffs are also installed on the back of the back plate. So I already did this as well. I'll unscrew one of them and show you. See, these are the standoffs, and you have to make sure that they're installed to the back plate so that the back plate does not fall off. And just make sure it's nicely fastened. And then with that, we'll put on the CPU. Here's the CPU. It's very hard to see, but yeah, that's the CPU. So here's the CPU that we're going to install, and we actually install it by looking at the motherboard and see this line arrow here. We'll match that up with the arrow here on the bottom left hand corner. See? It's the arrow. So we'll do that now. Bottom left hand corner with that one. Just make sure it's directly in, seated perfectly in there. See? The arrows are matching now. Perfectly seated. Ready to go. Then you close it from here, like this, push it in, connect it back, just like that. Okay, then now what you have to do is add the heatsink. So the heatsink is right here, this big monstrosity right here. And what you have to do is you have to install
these holders with a screw here. Screw here and a screw here. You have to install these things so that they will actually fit right here onto these. So we will install this thing, and we will have to install it onto here, which are the standoffs. I have to install them onto the standoffs and screw them in, because I'll do this before without showing you. I'll have to screw them in with these. Use these to screw it in. So basically I'll place the heatsink into these notches and then screw them in with this. So we'll do that. I'll do that right now and show you. And I also have to put on the thermal grease. It's very important to put the thermal grease onto the CPU. So I will do that before I do that. Very important to do that before you install the heatsink. Put on the thermal grease. Okay, so we have put the thermal grease on there, and now we are going to install the actual heatsink. So it is fastened to the heatsink now. As you can tell that the standoff is coming out of the retention plate right here. It's on, and I can fill it on all four of them. So it's fastened in. All I have to do now is screw this one in. So I'll do that now. Now I have the heatsink on here. You can see that. It's perfectly situated in here. I don't know if you can see that, but I have this bolt here. I have the bolt here. And I also have the other bolt over there. You might not be able to see it very well. Your heatsink might not be the same as this, but it should be similar. You just have to look at your instructions if your heatsink is different than this one. So next, what we're going to do is put on the RAM. For the RAM, you will have to put in the slots DDR4-1 and DDR4-2. So what we'll do is put the RAM in those slots. And I have this kind of RAM. I have this one. Vengeance DDR4, and they're each like 8 gigabytes. So we'll have 16 gigabytes total. Also, if you can see here, I have the cord for the heatsink connected to the motherboard right here. You can see it. It's connected right directly to the motherboard. You need to do this in order for it to work. So I put one of the RAM chips into the RAM slot right there on the motherboard. And I'm going to put the other one in there right now. It goes in like this. Just directly in. So what you do is you just put it in. Make sure it's in the slot. Right there. And right there. So I would press it down until you hear a click. It's already in there, nice and fastened in there, so you can see that. So we got 8 gigabytes of RAM in both slots. So that's very nice, with a total of 16 gigabytes. So, cool stuff. So next I will actually show you how to put in the video card. So that's what I will do next. So what we are going to do now is install this video card. Pretty nice, huh? Big old thing. It's the GeForce GTX 1070. Big old massive thing. I'm going to remove this one right here. I'm going to remove these panels from the case. I'm going to need 2 panels removed from the case. Take this one out. I'm also going to take this one out. I'm going to throw them over here. So what you do, put it in like this. Yeah, looks like it's in there. And then you need to put in the screws. It's in there now. Directly in there. Then all I have to do is put the screws back in here. But yeah, it's fastened right in there. So as you can tell, the EVGA graphics card is slotted directly into there and screwed in. I slotted into one of these PCIe slots. So it'll be actually the PCIe slot that's over here. And you can tell that it's properly slotted in because you can see the back ports and everything. So that's how you can tell that's properly slotted in. And also over here, you can tell. So now we have the power supply in here. We have the EVGA 850 GT power supply. And I actually screwed it in back here. I have it in here. A screw here. A screw here. I don't know if you can see that on the video. Screw here. Screw here and screw here. So that's the power supply. So I have the power supply slotted in now. Maybe you can see. Maybe you can see that now. I have the power supply slotted in. All screwed in and everything. Alright. So now we need to plug things into the power supply. And I will use this to plug in to it. Alright, so I have now put all the power supply cords in there. For the motherboard, the CPU, the VGA, VGA1, the SATA, peripheral, and the VGA2. So I put all those cords in. Also did, yeah, and I think I said SATA, yeah. So all those cords are in for the power supply. So now we're going to add the power supply to all the different parts that need power. So we'll do that. So what you need to make sure to do is to add the system fans. And I added one here for this fan over here, that one. And I also added another fan here on the system fan 3. This is 1, this is 3. And then this is for this fan over here. And then I will add another system fan later, which is over here. This is system fan 2. Let's put the CPU power supply in. Since there's two of these, put one in individually. Alright, so I got that one in there. See that? Took a little bit of time, but it was hard to record it. Me actually putting it in there because it's so tight. The fit is ridiculously tight. But I was able to get it in there. Okay, next I'm gonna do the motherboard. So we'll just go like this. Yeah, this one's much easier to put in. Just press it down like that. So that's good. So it made it click and now it's in. So next we're going to put on the video card power supply. So let's do that. It goes like this. Okay, that one's in. I need to get the other one. That's why you got two of them. Put the other one on there. See, now I got two of them on there for the power supply for the video card. So, motherboard, CPU, and video card. Alright, so we need to put these cords into this section over here. This section. So we'll do that right now, adding the case to the motherboard. So we have added the case to the motherboard now. As you can see, I put these cords in here for the power LED, the HD, the power, and the reset. Just right here. Then you also add the USB from the case, and also the audio and comm from the case. So these are all just connecting the case to the motherboard. Then I also added the case to the SATA right over here. All these cords are in the way, but should be over here, as you can see over there. So that's adding the case SATA to the motherboard. And then I also added the System 2 fan right over here. Maybe get this out of the way so you can see it. See, I added the System 2 fan. That's the case's fan right here. That's the front case's fan. This fan right over here. The last thing I added to the motherboard from the case is the USB 3.0, which is this one right here. Alright, with that, all I need to do is the hard drive, and I'll add the hard drive in the bays over here. And just kind of slide out. I'll show you that later. So this was actually a really easy thing to do. I was able to take the mount out from here and just put the hard drive onto it like this. Just mount it right on there. And I got an SSD SanDisk drive. So it's really nice. So all I have to do is slide it right in, and then it just clicks right in. See? And then I just have to plug it in, and I'll have to take out the back to do that. So at the back of the case, you can see the hard drive is right there, and then the SATA power cord is weaved through there, right here. Right here. And I'll just plug that one in, right into there. Alright, so that one is perfectly in, the SATA power cord. And all you need to do is put the SATA data cord in there. So it's this one. I don't know if you can see that, it's this one. So I'll just plug it right into there at the back. So there you go, both of the cables are in there now, the data cable and the power supply cable. So all you need to do now is connect the other side of the cable to the motherboard, where the SATA slot is. Congratulations, you have just completed building a PC. So that is how you build a PC from scratch.
If you like this video and want to see more videos similar to this one, please like and subscribe. You know you want to anyway because It is free and everybody likes free things. Thank you for your support. It is greatly appreciated.